It's so easy that way.
Hello and welcome. Welcome to our little segment. Oh, I'm glad we're working on balance today. Welcome to our little segment. I am Jeanette, and I almost fell off my stool. I am Jeanette, and this is Susan, and we are here creating these little small blocks of classes that can help you with osteoporosis. Okay, so little yoga style movements that can help you create strength and mobility in a safe way. So I'm not a doctor. You have to make sure that you approve your movements with your doctor. These were approved for Susan, and they will work for Susan, but Susan has practiced yoga for a while too, so she could probably do more than a lot of people. But we're going to keep it very basic. And in this segment, our focus is balance. And balance is a phenomenal thing to work on just for life in itself. So we'll just do a couple little things you could do at home by yourself, with your partner, what have you. And hopefully this can help you not only with your weight bearing, but with your overall body health as you go through this osteoporosis situation you might be going through. So our first posture is actually mountain pose, but we're going to play with coming on and off the heels in mountain pose. So when you're in mountain pose, you want to make sure that you're grounding through the balls of the feet, so the mound of the big toe, the mound of the pinky toe, and then the inner and outer heel. And then as you look down at your feet, you can separate your feet hip distance apart or bring them closer together. That's up to you. But you want to make sure that you can separate your toes from each other so that you can look at the mat of the color of your mat in between your toes, so long toes. Then once you feel like you're rooting, you almost feel like your arches lift, super healthy for your feet. And then you can, from there, bring that energy up to your knees and kind of give your knees a squeeze. Bring your energy up to your pelvic floor and your belly and feel like you're drawing your belly in and it lengthens your spine. And then you want to feel like you're expanding through your collarbones without lifting your shoulders. So your shoulders relax, your upper back strengthens, and your collarbones smile, right? And then the head. You always want to make sure that you're holding an imaginary orange under your chin, right? You don't want to lift your chin too high or too low. With all this being said, it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? So mountain pose today, but we're going to work on coming off your heels and on your heels. And I can't even balance off and off my heels. But yes, roll onto the balls of the feet, off your heels a little bit, and then try to roll back onto your heels. So if you look at Susan, that's what she's working on. She's inhaling. And then as she exhales, she comes off her heels. And then she releases them. And then she inhales. And then as she exhales, she comes off her heels. She's got pretty exceptional balance, but okay. And then release one more time. Inhale. Exhale, try to come off your heels. Good. And then release. Shake your little legs out. And we can go onto the wall. You can hold on to the wall because this is just another option. And now we can work on coming off the heels. And since you're holding onto the wall, maybe tiptoe towards me like you're wearing high heels a little bit. It doesn't have to be super high, but tiptoe towards me like 3 steps. 1, 2, 3, and drop. And now this is the hard part, is tiptoeing back. So if you're home, hold your wall and make sure that nobody has left a toy or something behind you. Okay. So now, or a dog, tiptoe back. 1, yep, 2, 3. So this is balance and release. Let's do that one more time. So wall and walk towards me. 1, 2, 3, and then back. 1, 2, and 3. Good. Shake it off. So there's a little balance. Okay, our next pose, our next balance pose, we actually do in yoga a lot is called triangle pose. And we're gonna do triangle. And I'm gonna show you the way I like to teach triangle off the wall first, and then I'll show you one on the wall. So you're gonna open your self on the wide end of the mat. So like Susan's doing, and then she's gonna separate her legs so that her ankles align with her wrists as much as you can, right? So her wrists, if I were to draw a line, her ankle would be right here. So walk your little foot up more so her stance is wider. If you are a little newer to yoga, maybe your stance won't be as high, okay? And then the back leg, nice and wide, okay? Take your arms, you can roll the wrists a little bit. And then as far as the heel, you can look at your front right heel, and if you were to draw a little line, you would want to draw it to the back heel. So maybe this foot, bring it more towards me. Yeah, so this gives you balance. Now, with this being said, if this is a little wobbly for you, then your opportunity to make yourself more stable would be to move the right foot more to the edge and move this leg foot more to this edge. So then you have more of a, yeah, on a diagonal stance, you're more stable, okay? From here, I'm gonna have Susan move into triangle. You can put a stable block behind the foot and another block on her hand, and then she'll glide her torso forward on the inhale gently and bring the hand down as she exhales. Now Susan, and I'm showing you this version first because Susan can use a block, but most people will not go this deep. So come back up on the inhale and come back out, okay? From here, we're gonna do it again, but instead of bringing the hand down towards the block, we're gonna bring the hand to the thigh. So glide to the right, inhale, bring the right hand to the thigh, never on the knee joint, and the left arm up towards the ceiling. If you wanted to increase your balance challenge, she'd look up towards her top hand. If she would not want to challenge herself that much, she'd look down. And the one thing we have to be really, really, really honest about is the one thing you don't want to do when you have osteoporosis. You never want to do this, but it's you don't want to fall, right? So this is why I'm showing you stuff on the mat and stuff on the wall. And if looking up, it's something that's going to make you have vertigo or not feel good, then you can look straight or you can look down, right? Safety before doing the exercise. Okay, and again, never put pressure on the joint. Okay, rise up on the inhale. And then as you exhale, we're going to turn the feet to the other side. So again, I showed you the block version, but you can do your hand on the thigh like Susan did, or you can do it on the leg, never on the knee joint. Now, her back foot now is turning back. So we're going to move the foot on a diagonal, not straight to 90 degrees, because what would happen is if her foot is to 90 degrees, her knee is going to want to track with her foot. And then if her hips are rotating front, then there's too much torque on that knee. So you're better off walking the foot in a little bit, so not as wide as the initial, and bringing this foot on a diagonal more. So now the knee and the foot track this way and the hips track with it. So now you're all in coordination. Same idea, shoulders drop, glide to the right or to the left a little bit, inhale, left hand on the thigh, on the lower leg or a block, never on the knee joint. You want to try that? And then you try to do the best that you can. The right arm comes up, maybe you could stay on the waist. She is comfortable, so she's looking up because she's not scared she's going to fall. But if you feel like you're going to fall, then look down or look straight. Good. So you still keep pressing just like you did in mountain pose through the four corners of your feet. You still have enough space in between your toes to feel stable. To come out of it, always soften your knees a little bit to come up. Inhale, and then neutralize the feet and shake it all off as you exhale. So like I said, this is very organic. I don't want to feel like a robot, but anytime that you do anything in practice, soften your knees if that's what your body likes, because when you soften your knees, it just gives you a little ease. Let's go to the wall. If you have a slippery floor, you're welcome to move the mat to the wall. We don't. So we're going to start just like we did here. So legs wide, arms wide, facing forward or facing me. Okay. And then we want your heels wherever they're comfortable. If you're able to bring your heels closer to the wall, bring them closer to the wall. Then yes, turn your feet to the right. Keep both shoulder points on the wall. Glide to the right, inhale. Right hand down towards the leg or the thigh or the block. Left arm up. Now her head is back, her shoulders are back, her arm is back, and she's just leaning up against the little wall. Are you feeling comfortable? If you look down, does that feel better or worse? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to you? Okay. So you can look up, or you can look neutral, or you can look down. It all depends if you have herniations on your neck. Sometimes things feel better or worse. Now to come up, same thing. Softness in the knees. You don't have to bend them, but soft to come up. And then windshield the feet to the other side. Remember, make sure that you're really rotating the foot so your back foot is never right at 90. It wants to come in because we're going in. And then arms out. Glide to the left, inhale. Left hand down, right arm up. Right? And then how do you feel when you do it against the wall?
Really good.
It feels better. You've never done it against the wall. It's like a support. Good. Root to rise, inhale. Neutralize the feet. So if you were to say to the people, try it against the wall, you would first. Okay.
To get your bearings.
Okay. And then you can take it off the mat. Okay. So wall first, mat second. All right. So those are two things that you can do for balance. Stay tuned for more. Thanks for tuning in.